and that just means they hear my beautiful voice saying it all again. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM. Once again, from the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell. I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. Now we have it up and running. The Sam Cams are all live and going at the same time. We have the the Instagram stream, the Sam Cam Instagram over here. And then over here we have the YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter feed, I believe. Yes, right? Right. Well, they're handling all that over in the back behind the glass. So anyway, shout out to Mark Cosplay, Kurt Kenobi, what is it? 73 Lair Bear. Big M, we have Ash Bailey and Cato's Collections. Anybody familiar with Cato? So Cato the other night. So the producer, Jerm, you had a conversation the other day? I had a conversation the other day. Now it looks like there's a poor connection over on Instagram. See, this is why you need to be having both of them. A lot of times I hear where the Instagram feed gets a bit choppy. And if it gets a bit choppy, that's the reason why we have multiple streams going at one time. So the Instagram's over here. If you're on Instagram, it gets choppy, gets fuzzy. Go over here. That's on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But the other day, Lord Blanket, howdy. Oh, that's funny. So we have Kurt Kenobi, we have Lone Dragon, Cato's Collection, Ash Bailey. Cato the other day, like I said, the producer was having a conversation to him, had a wonderful conversation the other night to Ace over at Ramen Toy, which we will talk about in the very last segment of today's show. Yeah, the What We Learned Today segment. Well, the What We Learned Today segment is your ability to get something fantastic from the folks over at Ramen Toy. And like I said, that will be probably around 11:40-ish or so. I think we'll be talking about Ramen Toy. So 11:40 Ramen Toy, and we'll be discussing that here during that time. Just a little preview of what they have coming up. But Ramen Toy, one of the only companies that I pledge my loyalty to because hashtag Ace gets it. That's right. Hashtag Ace gets it. Ace gets it. Ace does get it. He understands what collectors and people want. And so, like I said, won't give you too much more other than Ramen Toy. We'll talk about Ramen Toy at 11:40. Coming out on the What We Learned Today segment, because you're going to learn a lot in a really short time about Ramen Toy. So set your alarms for that. Make sure you set your notifications so that is going on. So shout out to Cato. Had an interesting conversation, though, the other day. Destiny Marie. Yes, she's the one that leads the Casbros down the aisle, the original Casbros. Yes, that is Casual and Brucey, the Casual Toy Collector. That is 10:30. Casual Toy Collector, 10:30 every Friday night. And just make sure you follow Casual Toy Collector all across Instagram, YouTube, and you'll be able to find out. It's an adult show, an adult toy show. But shout out to them. Well, I have Sugar Skulls and DFS Infinite joining in. Shout out to DFS. DFS has been a busy bee, but he does know how to set the standard and raise the bar. If you do have something you want 3D printed, reach out to DFS. Also, reach out to Casual. Like I said, there's a couple of people in the community that are just great and fantastic. Go Figure Go, Diorama Accessories. There's all kinds of people. We're talking about toys, and we're talking about all kinds of things when it comes to toys, which leads us back to what is going on in Toy Town. Right. So, I've had this here. So, Trump E. Bear was booked on charges for a tax write-off error. Trump E. Bear. Now you remember with Trump E. Bear, right? Familiar with Trump E. Bear? Trump E. Bear. This Trump-E. Bear. Trump E. Bear. Well, he was the one who was the president of Toy Town up until 2020. Right. Well, but then he lost to the Versace Commander. You guys know about the Versace Commander. Well, the Versace Commander came out of nowhere, talking about his snake army. That slither their way to make sure that they're protecting you and their lives, all while making sure that you have to wear masks. All the residents of Toy Towns had to wear masks. They were shut in. None of the toys that didn't have a mask or a face covering could go outside in Toy Town. It was a difficult time. A difficult time, but things have changed over the course of several years as the Versace commander has loosened restrictions, as they believe that there will be no medical tyranny brought onto us by the evil Baxter Stockman. No, yes, no. Okay, so what we have, though, is an error that Trumpy Bear made, which was supposed payments to Ms. Barron for hush money payments to her and Mr. Profit for a classified VHS tape. I'm going to say that again. We have the error for Trumpy Bear was that there was hush money payments that were paid to Ms. Barron and Mr. Profit for a VHS tape. It's all hush money. Don't know exactly what's going on, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out what this is. I mean, well, that's what I am. I'm the most trusted puppet in media. I am going to have to start asking Toys in Toy Town the hard questions. And of course, how are you going to be able to see that? Well, just keep following me. Keep following me at Sam Newsman all over social media. You can do that. Once again, like I said, the Versace commander won the election. Trumpy Bear has been out for a while. But he's now rerunning for Toy Town president. Yes, Trumpy Bear is running for Toy Town president. Which leads back to the arrest this week. We're not sure exactly where all this is going, but just that all of you need to stay tuned because some interesting things are happening. We're trying to see if we can get Trumpy Bear back in the studio. We get Trumpy Bear back in the studio. Well, Trumpy Bear's a plushie. He is a plush bear. Now, I don't care who he looks like. No. The bear's skin color is not orange. What does that mean? What are you talking about? No, listen, the Trumpy Bear, it's Trumpy Bear. If you've been following the show for a while, listen, some of you guys might be new. You might have come in the last year and a half. Listen, we'll be celebrating our 6-year anniversary all through the month of June. The first, second, third, and fourth week of June, it's a 6-year anniversary bonanza. Because, listen, we've been doing this a long time. Setting the standard, raising the bar. That's what we're doing. Shout out to Deadman Juan. See that you came in here to the chat. Skyfall as well. So, a big deal that Trumpy Bear was with another adult. No, I don't. Listen, I'm not sure what's on the VHS tape. I'm not sure what's on the VHS tape, but there's something on the VHS tape. It's classified. And there was hush money payments that were given. At least that's what it's saying, because they're saying there was a tax error that was given to Ms. Barron and Mr. Profit. The Profit being the Profit director, who's usually at his moon base over there in this, the moon made out of Swiss cheese, which was declassified. No, that's a whole nother big story. The fact that the moon was declassified. Yes, that it is Swiss cheese. And that Mr. Profit's running a base, sending toys, maybe possibly supplying Lord Blanket with new minions. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know, but I do know that something is afoot. No, I don't mean the Foot Clan. Well, maybe they're involved too. I don't know. Listen, Toy Town is a mess right now, and I'm going to have to get in. Blue cheese, I can't do blue cheese. Can't do blue cheese. But I tell you what, there's one type of cheese that's really good. You know what it is? It is the caramelized onion jack cheese by Boar's Head. No, they're not a sponsor of the show, but maybe they should be. Caramelized onion jack cheese from Boar's Head. I get it at Publix. Maybe Publix could be a sponsor of the show. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're not sponsoring this. I'm just telling you about caramelized onion jack cheese from Boar's Head that you can get over at Publix. Caramelized onion jack cheese. It is fantastic. Listen, I had stopped doing dairy for a while. I don't eat meat. I mean, I can't chew meat with these felt lips. Can't do that. No, vegetables only. Vegetables only. But I tell you what, I did have a relapse. I had a cheese relapse. And the only way that I could sit there and validate it is to tell you that you Should have a cheese relapse too, with caramelized onion jack cheese from Boar's Head that I get at Publix. Was that good? It was good, right? It was just all. No, I mean, but it was like ad practice. All right, that's what you guys think, right? Listen, I know what I'm doing over here. Anyway, so here we are. So I've had it. It's yummy. That's what Dead Man says in the chat. Of course, it is. And Dead Man was a chef. Dead Man Chef. Dead Man 1. Before he was Dead Man 1, he was Dead Man Chef. So if Dead Man knows, then you ought to know. If you don't know, well, the Dead Man knows. If Dead Man knows, then, well, you just need to tighten up. Tighten up. Tighten up. Get your cheese game on. 804-289. UR90. 804-289-8790. Your favorite Mario moment. We're going to talk about Mario at the top of next hour. The movie and the history of Mario. Was always a big fan of other titles as well. I mean, Mario is always the one that sticks out. But the one that I'm thinking about off the top of my head, there's a Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda, that's a big one. A lot of people like Legend of Zelda, but if I skipped over Zelda, they say, oh, well, how can you skip over Zelda? Well, I said, well, if I skip over Zelda, what I can do is I can hop over to Donkey Kong Country. You say, oh, well, how are you going to hop over from Zelda to Donkey Kong Country? Well, because there's a connection that is made in the new film to Donkey Kong Country to the Mario universe, which you should definitely go see. Like I said, we'll talk about that at the top of next hour. But Donkey Kong Country coming out on the Super Nintendo, developed by Rare. Another song that we have queued up here. But like I said, as far as my favorite goes, I do have a favorite. People always go through their favorite moments in video games. And they say, well, what is one of them? And a lot of people will say, well, it's When I Saved the Princess. So no, Donkey Kong does not have a movie. Donkey Kong is in the new movie, the new Mario movie. There's a whole segment. It all ties together. I'm not going to spoil it. We'll talk about a few little things. No spoilers, but just little kind of plot, check marks. No spoilers. No spoilers, except for the award-winning song that will be played during the next hour segment. Yes, award-winning song. Probably the best animated award-winning song in the history of animated award-winning songs. Yes, I know you're thinking about Friend Like Me. You're thinking about Under the Sea. You're thinking about all of the amazing Disney musical numbers. I'm telling you right now, probably one of the best musical numbers that has ever been made for an animated film is in the Mario movie. I'm not going to spoil any more. I'm just going to tell you that as a tease that we will talk about at the top of next hour. Like I said, no spoilers. No spoilers, but we'll talk about a couple of bullet points. And if you think those are spoilers, well, you should get them from me anyway, because I've heard that a lot of people have been giving negative reviews to Mario, which is something that we will not do. With Cappy on my head, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not being controlled by Mario, but I will tell you that I have some different opinions than those of the reviews over at Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, see, I see you over there. So 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790, your favorite Mario moment. We'll keep the phone lines open for just a few moments longer. If you want to call in, we do want to hear what your favorite Mario moment is. You might have a lot of them. One of the ones that sticks out to me, yes, Mario is out. It came out on Wednesday. DFS asking there. But is Versace Commander in league with the foot? That is a big question. Big M wants to know. Versace Commander in league with the foot. We don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to get to the heart of it. Let's see here. I think that Lord Blanket may be under the influences of the Jeweled Rat King. Is that the which Rat King is that? Is that the one with the actual, dead cat belt? by Playmates, the original Rat King, the one that matters, the one that we thought we were going to get from Super 7 that we didn't get from Super 7. So all I have is the cartoon one from NECA, who has paint applications that just crack all over his crotch. Yes, cracked crotch Rat King. We're going to call him that from NECA, cracked crotch Rat King. That's what that's all about. No, yes, Mario has come out. No, no, I didn't mean come out that way. No, not out of the pipe. Yes, out of the pipe. That's how Mario has come out. I can't read the rest of that statement. You can't do it. Can't do it. Anyways, it's a joke. 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. Your favorite Mario moment. There was a moment in the Switch Mario game where you were in New Donk City. You go down a pipe, and the next thing you know is that you are in a level that it looks like the original Donkey Kong level, but it's modernized. It's modernized, and there's a whole sequence there, and there is a song that we'll play next segment as well, which was a fantastic moment in time as you're Mario jumping around and getting all the way up to the top of New Donk City, where you have to, of course, face Donkey Kong. So leads us back to Donkey Kong Country. Right? You see what I did there? That's like a whole like circle. You go back to exactly where you were started from the beginning. We're talking about Donkey Kong. Well, we started with Zelda, but then we're talking about Donkey Kong. The You're Welcome song from Moana is pretty good, Sam. Maybe I should play that next week. You guys take a note of that back there in the back. Take a note of that. We'll take a note of that. Try to play some Moana. Moana. The Disney Pixar film. You guys know what I mean. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to talk about, like I said, we'll keep the phone lines open up just one more time. If anybody decides to call, it is Easter weekend. People might be busy. I'm sure they might be busy with their kids and things, but we're going to shut the phone lines down. We will not be taking calls at the next segment at the top of the hour. But the phone lines are open now for at least the next 5 minutes or so. 804-289-UR90, 804-289-8790. But I see a lot of interaction in the chat. A lot of people in the chat. Donkey Kong Country on the SNES was well loved. It was right. Well loved. I think that's what he's saying. Anyways, it was well loved. Donkey Kong Country, one of my favorites. And like I said, if you have a favorite, just type it in at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter to get your favorite Mario moment. Saving the Princess. I have a little tag over here that I got years ago. Remember the Nintendo Power magazine? Remember Nintendo Power? Nintendo Power magazine. Shout out to Gigashock. I see you down there, Gigs. Nintendo Power magazine. I believe I got this from Nintendo Power magazine when I sent them in a picture of whether or not I had saved the princess or not. So it's like, I saved the princess. I got a little patch that says that I saved the princess. Because, of course, I did save the princess. But I have to make a confession. Yes, this is one of those moments. Just feel yourself. Feel as if you yourself. I don't feel yourself. Well, I don't want it. Anyways, don't listen. Put yourself in the shoes of someone who is about to get a confessional. And while many people would go from stage to stage, castle to castle, reaching up to Toad, and who Toad would say, "We're sorry, your princess is in another castle." If I told you right now, and if I confessed to all of you that the princess was not the first game that I thought was necessary to conquer. It wasn't. It wasn't. Listen, that's not a hot take. That is just the truth. Because if there is one thing that needed to be taken care of, that was the AI robots. You say, what do you mean, Sam? Well, what I mean is did you see the story this week where they had the AI robot? They asked the AI robot, what are you going to do about the human problem? I was like, well, this is if I wanted to eliminate the human problem, I'd start doing this. So ChatGPT is already working on it. So, of course, here I was. I was still pretty much a nice seasoned puppet in the 80s. I was just undercover. Undercover doing research, doing the research that was necessary. And that research was the fact that even while the princess needed to be saved, what was more important was beating the 6 robots that were manipulated by Dr. Wiley. What do you mean, Sam? I said, yeah, the princess. You know what? She's pretty tough. She can handle her own. She can just sit there in that castle because I went through already 5 or 6 castles already, and all I get is this little mushroom guy that tells me that she's in another castle. So I say, you know what? Hold on just a moment. I have some AI robots here that are about to take over the world. I think that those need to be dealt with immediately because that is the future of humanity. Yes, poet, and I know it. Mega Man. Mega Man, 1987, created by Capcom, was one of those games where it really separates the men from the boys. A lot of times people will sit there, will tell you that, oh, this game is hard and this game is tough. But when you only have 3 lives, and that's it, well, you need to buck up or shut up. Because something like Mega Man really does, as I always say, set the standard and raise the bar. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, well, Mega Man 2 was better. But was it? Was it? Was it only better because you had an opportunity to put a password in so you could be lazy and come back to it later? Hmm? Huh? Right? Oh, wait, no, oh, yeah, no, yes. There was a password system in Mega Man. People say, well, that's the evolution of gaming. No, it's the evolution of you being a gaming simp and thinking that everything should be easier and that you should be able to skip ahead when the facts matter is that Mega Man, 3 lives and you're out. You're done for. We're not talking about plugging in a game genie. We're talking about just the game itself. With the ugly Mega Man in the yellow and blue outfit. You don't even know what the hell you're looking at, but it's Mega Man. And you're excited that it's Mega Man. And it's the 6 master robots. Shout out to Casper. Casper's a fan of Mega Man, I'm sure. I don't know too many Ninja Turtle fans that are not fans of Mega Man. Here I am telling you right now that while many people sat there and saved the princess, it was I, the most trusted puppet in media, that did what was necessary. You say, well, what does that say? I say it was defeating Dr. Wiley before I ever cared about the princess. Like I said, she could take care of herself. And that's the truth. So now you know. Now you know that defeating those 6 robots was much more important than the gaming life when I was under classified couldn't say anything. I was underground at that point. Mega Man is still hard, is what Deadman says. Casper says that Mega Man being the best game series out there. Ash Bailey saying Super Mario 2, Super Mario World through Super Mario World was the golden age of Nintendo gaming. Got the original Mega Man from a Kitty City toy store for $30 and I loved it. And now you know. Yeah, knowing is half the battle. But you know what? You have to beat those robot masters in the right order, or you're just wasting your time. Well, there was a mind thing. You have to do it in the right order. Back then, there was not an internet you could go to. You couldn't type in, oh, well, which order of the robots do I? You had to figure it out, unless you had Nintendo Power. You had Nintendo Power. Call the Nintendo hotline. Remember that? A 900 number that you would sit there and have to ask your parents' permission to call to get a video game tip. Mega Man 1 is the only one with 6 bosses. The rest have 8. I can talk Mega Man forever. Well, we all know that Mega Man 1 is the only one that really matters because the rest had passwords and all this other stuff that just made Gaming what it is today, nothing more than something simple. You know, what is short for simple? Simp. 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 3 lives, no continues. Buck up or shut up. And yes, Mega Man Soccer is a good game. Anything with Mega Man is. I know, I'm picking on the other Mega Man. No, they're all the greatest too. I'm just telling you that Mega Man 1 is the one that separates the men from the boys, the girls from the women, and the us from the we. Is that how you say it? I don't know. The Z to the Zo? No, wait. I want to make sure I get everybody in here. Us, them? Well, anyway, so Mega Man 1, it separates the hardcore from just the casual. How about that? Anyways, broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM. Download the Live 365 app. Download the Live 365 app. If you want to be able to hear the cartoon themes, I say cartoon themes, but it's actually going to be video game themes. If you want to hear the video game themes that I'll be playing here in this next segment, we'll be back at the top of next hour. We'll be talking directly about Mario, the history of Mario, and playing, of course, a few Mario songs from the new film and some very popular ones from your childhood that you would hear on Saturday morning. Once again, download the Live 365 app, search WDCE, and you can listen to the songs live here on the radio. Next thing, at Sam Newsman on Instagram, at Sam Newsman on Facebook, at Sam Newsman on Twitter, at Sam Newsman on TikTok, Sam Newsman on YouTube as well. We're doing reels every single day. And now we're doing several stories a day in minute and a half reels. Usually about a minute and a half. But between a minute and a half reels every time and every day on social medias. That's what you want to just focus on. Know that we're going to be there. And so follow us at Sam Newsman to get that information on a daily basis. We're trying to do better. Set the standard, raise the bar. I'll do a Mega Man conversation with you whenever. See, I knew that was the case. Tom and Jerry on the Sega 2 Master System. I'm talking about Tom and Jerry. Well, we can play some Tom and Jerry next week. We can talk about Sega. What's this Sega nonsense? Nobody wants to hear about Sega. Talking about Nintendo. We're talking about Mega Man. And like I said, we'll have Casper. We'll have a Mega Man Casper conversation in the future. Once again, at Sam Newsman all over social media. Download the Live 365 app. Broadcasting live the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. You're listening to 90.1 FM here for the only radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real puppet, from the most trusted puppet in media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday Morning.